All right, let's just jump right into it. In this explainer, we are breaking down a really powerful strategy that's designed to completely change how you look at the verbal ability and reading comprehension section. We're going to help you target a massive 24 attempts.
Does this sound familiar? You know your stuff, but you find yourself just second-guessing every single answer. You're always running out of time, and that attempt count, it just will not move. If you were stuck in that loop, this explainer is for you. We are about to totally shift your mindset. So the very first step is to adopt a new philosophy. You need to forget about getting every single question 100% perfect. Instead, we're going to start thinking of this whole section as the attempt game. This right here, this is your new mantra. It is the engine for this entire strategy. And it's really about two things: volume and intuition. It means you prioritize making a lot of attempts by learning to trust that initial gut feeling. This is the core idea we're going to build everything on.
So how do we actually do this? Well, let's start with the biggest piece of the puzzle, reading comprehension, or RC. The goal here is to conquer each passage and all its questions in a super strict 7-minute window. Now, the key to speed here isn't just reading faster. It's about reading smarter. Instead of trying to absorb every little detail, you just read one paragraph at a time and ask yourself, what's the one main point here? Then, when you move to the next paragraph, you connect it to the last one. Is this a supporting idea? Is it an argument against it? By doing this, you build this mental map, a flow of the story, which is really all you need to answer the questions. And you've got to be disciplined. Your target for reading and understanding the entire passage is just 4 minutes. That's it. This forces you to focus only on the main ideas and not get lost down some rabbit hole.
And that leaves you with exactly 3 minutes for the questions. That's right, all 4 of them have to be done in 3 minutes. I know, sounds intense, because it is.
If you break it down, that is just 45 seconds per question. This crazy timing is designed for one reason: to stop you from overthinking. You literally don't have time to debate with yourself. You have to be decisive.
And this is probably the most critical psychological trick in this whole strategy. You know when you're stuck between two really close options? There's almost always one you lean towards first. We'll call it your first love. The rule is simple: trust it, mark it, and move on. Overanalyzing is the enemy of the attempt game.
Now, for those of you who are a little skeptical about just going with your gut, let's just look at the math, right? If you've narrowed it down to 2 options, you have a 50-50 shot. A correct guess gets you 3 points, an incorrect one gets you -1. So over time, making these calculated 50-50 guesses actually gives you an expected value of +1 point. It's a net positive. The math totally supports the method.
Okay, so let's tackle the verbal ability questions now. Since our RC timing is locked down, we can move on to these, which honestly require an even faster approach. The goal is to get through all 8 VA questions in just 12 minutes. So here's the game plan. Start with para-completion. They're usually the quickest wins. For para-summary, you're just hunting for the one option that really captures the most essential points. And then, for the tricky odd sentence out questions, which are notorious time sinks, the strategy is ruthless. Don't even try to solve it yet. Just pick a random number, mark it for review, and move on. You only come back if you have spare time at the very, very end.
Okay, so we have our RC plan, we have our VA plan. Now let's put it all together and build the complete 40-minute strategy that gets us to our big goal: 24 attempts.
And here it is, the master plan all on one slide. You've got 4 RC passages at 7 minutes each. That takes up 28 minutes for 16 attempts. Then 8 VA questions at 1.5 minutes each. That's your final 12 minutes for another 8 attempts. You add it all up, and what do you get? Exactly 24 attempts in 40 minutes. It's a tight schedule for sure, but it is mathematically sound.
But look, you don't just jump from 16 to 24 attempts overnight. It's not realistic. You have to build up to it. So for your next few practice tests, just aim for 18. Once you're comfortable there, push it to 20, then 22. This gradual approach makes that final goal feel so much more achievable.
And if you're worried that attempting this many questions is just going to tank your accuracy, think again. The person who came up with this strategy was eventually able to solve all 24 questions with over 70% accuracy. This just proves that high volume and good accuracy can absolutely go hand in hand, if you have the right system.
So at the end of the day, this whole strategy isn't just about timers and tactics, it's about learning to trust your own judgment. It really all boils down to one question. What if your first instinct is actually your most powerful tool?